just want to see the okay. So, first of all, we are last week. And the week before, the Shabbat before, we look at the construction of the tabernacle, and it seems that he repeats it this week again. So, in order to understand, we have to understand what is the meaning of the tabernacle, and I will relate it to us directly today, and we're going to try to fix out. But first of all, what is interesting, we have seen that Yehovah gave the Shabbat in the chapter 20 from Shemot. He repeats the Shabbat in the chapter 31. Tell them the Shabbat happened. Here, he goes again and he says in the verse 2, they shall be done, but on the seventh day they shall be to you a Kadosh Yom, a Shabbaton to Yehovah. So you bring back the Shabbat. It looks like really the Shabbat is the center of all the unity in the body of Mashiach. The Shabbat is the point which brings all the believers together wherever we are. So now, he says, you shall kindle no fire throughout your habitation upon the Shabbat day. So we're going to look at this word because it's very interesting. And after that, so we're going to look at this word. The word candle, or what do you have in your candle? Okay. So the word for candle here is the word ba'ar, B-A-A-R, which means to kindle a fire. Okay? But the root words or the consume. Yeah? The root word is to be brutish, violent. Okay. So the literal text is that during the Shabbat day we shall not kindle fire. But the meaning, the deepest meaning, means that we should not enter into strife during the Shabbat day. Strive first with Elohim by rebellion, and strive to our fellow by quarreling. This is how it is interpreted. So the literal text is simple. You shall kindle no fire through your jubilation upon the Shabbat day. Okay?
But we interpret that is literally.
Because it is also literal, because somewhere it is written that they found somebody who gathered wood during the Shabbat. Okay? So the literal is not a move. It is written, I have it in my text. So, this is the point. Now, I want to go directly to the verse 30.
Verse 30?
Yeah. And Moses said to the children of Israel, see, Yehovah has called by name Bezalel, the son of Reuel, the son of Hur, of the tribe of Yehudah, and he has filled him with the spirit of Elohim in wisdom, understanding, and in knowledge, and to devise curious work, to work in gold, in silver, and in brass, in the cutting of stone, to set and in carving of wood, to make any manner of cunning work. And he has put in his heart that he may teach he and Aholiab, the son of Ahishama, of the tribe of Nine. Then as he filled with the wisdom of heart, to work all manner of work, of the engraver and of the cunning workman, and of the embroiderer in blue, in purple, scarlet, in fine linen, and of the weaver, of them that do any work, and do that devise cunning work. So here we have a direct relationship we have seen last Shabbat between Bezalel and Yeshua. Okay? Bezalel was the one who built the natural tabernacle. Yeshua is the one who built the spiritual tabernacle. And we're going to see the relationship here. Bezalel, the name, means in the shadow or in the image of El. Okay? And we have seen that it is related to the story of the 153 fish in Yohanan 20, when they went to fish, okay? In the Gematria, the 153. Yes, I think it's 1 thing. Let me confirm. No, it's 21. No, this week. Chapter 21, verse 11. Okay, remember? Simon Peter went up and drew a net to land full of great fish, and 153. For all of them were so many, yet was not the net broken. I have explained so why the net was not broken. Because the net is a Torah. Okay? So, these idioms that I use. So now Bezalel, he said that he was filled with the spirit of Elohim. And Yeshua was also filled with the spirit of Elohim. In wisdom, understanding, and knowledge. Wisdom is Orma, understanding is Bina, and knowledge is Dat. This form a triad. Okay? So, this is very important to understand because it's a higher level that can be reached because it pertains to Elohim. Okay? We know by wisdom, Elohim established the world. Okay? And we have seen that that knowledge comes from the flowing of wisdom with understanding. Wisdom with understanding, they are both connected. And when wisdom flows with understanding, we have knowledge. So we see that this is why Christianity cannot have, because they reject the Torah, and the Torah is wisdom. So wisdom comes from the Torah, from the study of Torah, and understanding comes also from the Torah. And when we have it, we have the divine knowledge. It's not the knowledge of the world, it's the divine knowledge to understand. Now today we want to see that this tabernacle is the will of Elohim to dwell among his people. And then he bring them to the land of Canaan, and in Jerusalem he will tell Shalomo to build the temple there. The temple was for a fixed place to dwell there. In the temple, in the first temple, the presence of Elohim was real. He was there, he was present. This means all the people knew that the Elohim of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob were there, was present. Okay? And he goes so, but because of the rebellion, the temple was destroyed and was later rebuilt by Herod. But the presence of Elohim was no more there. And we know that Yeshua explained them. You look at the temple, but one is here that is greater than the temple. Because Yeshua was a prophet like Moshe. You see, the wrong focus in our life, can bring disastrous trouble if we look on things which is not what Elohim wants us to look. These people think, I go to the assembly and everything is fine, but they neglect to study the Torah. You understand? It's not because I go to the assembly that I will grow. What makes me grow is the Torah. It's not the assembly. You see? So if we don't study the Torah, we can say, okay, I go every Shabbat, I go in the assembly, you know, I am part of the body of Messiah. Yes, you are part of the body of Messiah, but you will never grow because you focus on the wrong things. What the pastor, what the leader, what the elder, whoever is the name will teach you is for him. He knows, wrong or right, he knows, so he will give you something, but we have to make our study. The study is like when we share here, to study together. We study and we try to understand now, to form our understanding, to grow in the perfect knowledge of the will of Elohim. So, this tabernacle was a demonstration of Elohim among his people. And the people do not understand that. They didn't understood. They look at it like a burden. Okay? Every time we move, we have to dismantle the tabernacle, to pack it. So you have a group who is allowed to carry that. The other group is carrying that. And they have to move. And they did it for 40 years. Now, what is interesting, 40 years, I have seen the wilderness is the shadows of the microcosm or microcosm of the world. Today, 40 years times 50 equal to 1,000. From the first coming of Yeshua to the second coming. He comes first as the suffering servant, he will come back as the conquering king. And we have a period of 2,000 years, which is again a period of wilderness. Wilderness for the believers. Why? Because the believers are scattered now in the four corners of the earth. No more in the wilderness between Egypt and Canaan, but in the four corners of the earth. It's the same. How do they feed? What is our manna today? The manna is the word. We feed the spiritual man through the word. This is our manna. Every day, every day, every day. We feed by the word. The word is our manna. Okay? And we need to understand that, because if we don't study the Torah, we go empty. The inner man, the real man, the spiritual man in us will starve. We'll have no food. Right? So now we're gonna try to see in the temple, and but I want to show something because it's very interesting that I found that now. We say here. Let me see. Okay. So he said here in the verse, the work of Bezalel was to build, and he said, and to devise curious work, to work in gold, in silver, in brass, and in cutting of stone, to set, and in carving of wood, to make any manner of cunning work. So he was here. He was a builder. Okay, and he used a specific material. Now, if you go to 1 Corinthians 3:12, you see how Paul interpreted it now to make a drash, to make a teaching. And we read the verse 12 and 13. First Corinthians 3:12 and 13. So, somebody read.
Having in such expedition, we use much boldness of speech.
No. 1 Corinthians 3:12. 3:12.
And if anyone builds on this foundation with gold, silver, precious stones, wood, his straw, its one's work shall be revealed, for the day shall show it up, because it is revealed by fire, and the fire shall provoke the work of each one. Prove to the work and each one what sort it
is. Yeah. You see, here he used again this to show the comparison between the building of the tabernacle and building here in the work we are doing. Okay, now if any man build upon his foundation gold, silver, because he says in the verse 11, for other foundation can no man lay that is laid, which is Yeshua Messiah. Okay, so if we go back, we can go to the verse 9, 10 and 11. 9, 10 and 11 in the same chapter.
9, 10, 11.
Yeah, in the same chapter. Can you read?
For we are fellow workers of Elohim. You are the field of Elohim, the building of Elohim, according to the figure of
The building of Elohim. Okay.
according to the favor of Elohim which was given to me as a wise master builder. I have laid the foundation and another builds on it, but each one should look how he builds on it.
Uh-huh. You
11,
see? Here, yeah.
For no one is able to lay any other foundation except that which is laid, which is Yahushua Messiah.
So, what is what is speaking about? What is the? He's not speaking about the temple, the spiritual temple now. You see, he speak exactly about the spiritual temple, and he say here, he say in the verse 11, according to the favor of Elohim which is given to me as a wise master builder, I have laid the foundation, and another build thereon. But let every man take heed how he build thereupon. You see, so it's like construction, which is spiritual construction, and we're gonna see that, and we're gonna go to Ephesians. Yeah, Ephesians chapter. Just wait. Chapter 2. So then we go here. And you say, just wait.
When you look down, look down.
So we go with the verse 19.
Mama?
To 22. 19 to 22. 2, Ephesians 2, 19 to 22.
On the bed and lay down.
So then you are no longer strangers and foreigners, but fellow citizens with the coalition and members of the household of Elohim, having been built upon